Terrific. Good morning, everyone. We're presented here today with another very special guest, Scott, from Horizon Gold, Managing Director and CEO. Scott, how are you? How's the sun shining all the way over in WA today?
Thanks, James. Yeah, it's nice and bright over here today. So yeah, just finished our long weekend. So it's been a great weekend for us.
That's great to hear. It's great to hear. Well, to everyone that's watching today, Scott's going to give us the time of day to go through a quick presentation. We've got a few questions that have been asked from registrants. And then at the very end, feel free to pop a few questions in the chat box or put it in the Q&A section. And otherwise, Scott, ready when you are. Really excited.
No worries. Thanks, James. I'll just try and open up our verify presentation.
Take your time.
All right. So hopefully you can all see that. So this is the Horizon Gold Gum Creek Gold Project. I've just started as the Managing Director and CEO here at Horizon, and really excited to take this exciting gold project back into production. So you can see there we've got an existing camp and existing airstrip. So the drillers and the geos are currently in the camp and drilling away. You can see that airstrip's in good condition, so we can actually use that. And out to the right of screen is our Gidgee shear zone, which is our main ore body. And then just out in the middle, just above the Gum Creek Gold Project title, is where the existing plant is located. So we have 2.3 million ounces at 1.9 grams per tonne gold, 71% indicated. So you can see it's very well de-risked, and in that indicated category, we are focused on two main mining areas, the Gidgee shear zone and Howard's. Gidgee shear zone has 1 million ounces at over 2 grams per tonne. So you can see really high grades in that Gidgee shear zone. Howard's is a bit lower grade, but it is a lower strip ratio. So there's 250,000 ounces at 1.1 down at Howard's. We're at the final stages of a bankable feasibility study, which we will be releasing at the end of this half year. We're just focused on free milling open pits, and we think there's a lot of underground potential here as well. So we're currently exploring the 80-kilometre belt. It's completely underexplored. We're currently looking at two underground opportunities, one at Kingfisher. So you can see 15 metres at 28 grams. We recently intersected 4 metres at 11. So really good grades at Kingfisher. And we're also currently drilling at Omega, where we're following up on a 30 metre at 20 grams per tonne. So very high gold grades, which are a potential for underground opportunities. They won't be in the feasibility study. They're all for later. The idea is that we could bring these undergrounds in earlier, which would kick up our grade profile and would increase our production from beyond 100,000 ounce per annum, which is the base case. So we think this gold project could go plus 100,000 ounces per annum, and depending on how many undergrounds we brought in, we could potentially kick it up towards 150,000 ounces per annum. We're in a really important area of the goldfields. We've got 6 operating gold mills within 150 kilometres of the project. We have that existing infrastructure which we can leverage off. So, and granted mining leases, which is important when going through the permitting process. Jump onto the next slide. So you can see here we're right in the middle of Meekatharra, Wiluna, and Sandstone. We'll just zoom in. You can see Meekatharra, a multi-million ounce system. Wiluna, over 7 million ounces there. Sandstone, a couple of million ounces. So right in that middle of those multi-million ounces systems to the east, west, and south of us. And we've got that 80-kilometre belt, which we're currently exploring. And right in the middle of that is where the previous mine was built and operated. So you can see here the Gidgee mill is located right in the centre of this package. We'll just be focused on 2 mining areas. That's the Gidgee shear zone, which includes Swan and Swift and Kingfisher. and Howard's, which is our satellite pit down to the south. So you can see here, this is the existing infrastructure. So this processing plant will be demolished. Unfortunately, it's not quite big enough for what we're trying to achieve. So over here to the left of the screen is where we will build the new 2.4 million tonne per annum CIL circuit. And out here to the right is the Gidgee Shear Zone, which is that flagship asset. So you can see the two main ore bodies that make up the Gidgee Shear Zone are Swan and Swift. So you can see they were previously mined by previous operators. So these mines were operated between 1989 and 2005 at a gold price of less than $1,000 per ounce. The current gold price in Australian dollar terms is $7.5 thousand per ounce. So you can see these ore bodies are going to be very economic in today's gold prices. So if we look down the Gidgee Shear Zone, so this is that Gidgee Shear Zone, and then to the south we have the next ore body, which is called Kingfisher, which we recently announced some good drill intercepts. So you can see at Kingfisher, there's another existing open pit. We will be looking at the underground opportunities, and you can see all through this project we have existing haul roads, which means that we can fast track the permitting process and we can leverage off that existing infrastructure. So just on the wireframe, so this is a Swan and Swift. So these are those two big ore bodies, 1.3 kilometres wide mineralised system. So this is a large mineralised system and multiple stack loads, very high ounce per vertical metre, which is important when you're developing gold mines. So this is our CIL circuit. So you can see here, this is the 2.4 million tonne per annum CIL circuit. And we'll actually be able to use and utilize the existing ROM pads. And so a lot of opportunity to leverage off the existing infrastructure, which also helps with our permitting process. We just zoom out again on that Gidgee Shear Zone. So just in summary, so you've got Swan and Swift up here to the north. And then down to the south, we have Kingfisher, which is where we're currently drilling. And we've got these structures actually follow all the way through. So we now want to do further drilling in between these open pits because we can see potential for further oxide open pits along those major structures that are part of that Gidgee Shear Zone. Now we'll just zoom in a bit closer into the Swan and Swift so you can see very good gold grades above 2 grams per tonne up to 2.3. And majority of Swan and Swift will come into a large open pit mine. And we think that the majority will come in open pit. And then we have also this potential for an underground opportunity at Swan and Swift also. So we'll now move down to Kingfisher. So you can see there is previous underground mine at Kingfisher. We'll be able to hook into that and we'll be able to decline down and we'll actually be able to mine where we're currently drilling at Kingfisher. And we're getting some high grade intercepts and we've got an extension of this ore body at depth. So this will be an underground opportunity. And what that means is that we can increase the grade above the current sort of open pit run rate, which is 100,000 ounce per annum. This ore body and the other underground opportunities can push us well beyond that 100,000 ounce per annum run rate. So if we just zoom out into the broader package, you can see Gidgee Shear Zone, which is where we're looking. That's where you've got Kingfisher, Swan and Swift and the existing plant, but we'll build a new plant out here. And then down to the south, we've got our satellite open pit, which is called Howard's. And that'll be coming in the later years. It is a lower grade opportunity, but it is lower strip ratio because there is no existing open pit on this one. So we're getting strip ratios around 2 or 3 to 1. This one's also open in all directions. So we'll be currently looking at extending this along strike, and it also has potential at depth as well. So you can see there's about 250,000 ounces at Howard's, and we'll truck that in the later years of the mine life. So you can see here, this is Swan. This is probably our flagship asset. Swan is an amazing ore body, and we will be following up on some of these really high grades. You can see here, 7.4 meters at 60, 10.7 at 30, 8.1 at 19, 6 at 19. So this is a ultra high grade system, multiple stack loads. Really excited to have a look at the underground potential on Swan. But as I said, the majority of this will come into one big, large open pit at Swan and Swift. Currently drilling at Omega, so this is a really exciting one. Also has existing underground workings. You can see we're currently extending beyond that existing underground, and we're following up on some really high grades here at Omega as well. So 30 at 21, 13 at 11 grams per tonne. So really great opportunity to extend these ore bodies into underground mines, but the base case is all about open pit mining for the first 7 to 10 years. So we've got 2.3 million ounces. We're currently trading at about $100 an ounce. Most of our peers that are at the final stages of study and looking at building their mines are trading at about 2 to 3 times our current valuation. So we're really excited to move into that developer phase where most of our peers are trading at $300 to even $400 per ounce. So there's a significant uplift just as we get this story out there. Also, we've got that exciting exploration going on along that 80-kilometre long belt. Particularly excited about Kingfisher and Omega. We've got existing mining leases, which is really important for the permitting process and allowing us a rapid restart. So we want to be moving this mine back into production and really making the most of these really high gold prices that we're currently seeing in the market. We do have an executive and technical board and management team that have built, owned and operated mines across Africa and Australia. So we've got the team that can go all the way, and we're really excited to restart the Gum Creek Gold Project. I thought that was a nice quick summary, and maybe we'll jump into some questions.
Scott, that was absolutely terrific. The graphics were superb. Definitely makes it a whole lot easier to visualize the Gum Creek Gold Project. And just touching off the base of the Gum Creek Project, what's been the most significant achievements at the Gum Creek Project since Horizon Gold has taken ownership?
Yeah, so Horizon Gold was actually a spin out of Panoramic. Panoramic was a nickel-focused company. Horizon Gold was a spin out about 10 years ago. Particularly over the last 5 years, there's been a real focus on this oxide free milling open pit material. The team have added 1 million ounces in the last 5 years. So that's a really great result. So we've added a significant amount of free milling open pit ore, but we've also now very close to delivering this bankable feasibility study. So in some ways, they've been under the radar, this company. They've added 1 million ounces and they've banked what is an exciting gold project. And it's really the first time that we've really getting out there and telling the story. So we're excited to re-rate the stock by just getting that story out there, because the team's been so busy over the last 5 years adding ounces and delivering this bankable study. Now the time is to tell the story and then move it into production.
Yeah, terrific. So once the story's out there, what can investors expect to see over the next 12 months?
Yeah, so the next 12 months is finalising that study work. And so in some ways, the spend on the study is coming to an end. There's a lot of report writing and that type of thing. So we'll be able to put those reports into the market. We also want to show some of these underground opportunities. So we'll put some ancillary studies around the underground opportunities at Kingfisher and that. So there's a bit of work on the studies, but we really want to hit the drilling really hard over the next 6 to 12 months. So we were expecting some further great results out of Kingfisher, Omega. We also want to start tackling Swan and Swift. So really exciting exploration over the next 6 to 12 months. We want to increase the number of drill rigs. We're looking at around 60,000 meters over the next 6 to 12 months. So really exciting period of exploration, which is going to increase the value for the shareholders.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely excellent. Sounds very exciting as well. Uh, Scott, you have discussed what you are looking to mine in the Gum Creek project. However, can you outline your vision, I guess from the perspective of CEO, for Horizon Gold and also the Gum Creek Gold Project?
Yeah, so when I took on this role, I saw an opportunity to use my skill sets, which is my background in mining engineering. I started in underground mines working around the goldfields and Australia. So my background in mining means that I've got the skills to work with the team and build a team that can deliver this project. It's quite a simple project from a technical perspective. It's technically robust. It's open pit. It's free milling. So metallurgically, it's quite simple. So yeah, it's an exciting opportunity to use my background in mining, but also my background in capital markets. So it's about bringing this story to the capital markets, bringing the capital markets along the journey, because we will need the capital markets to come with us through this, and it's really about engaging with the capital markets, using that skill set in mining, and then building and becoming one of the next gold producers on the ASX.
Sounds like a great combination of capital market knowledge, mining knowledge, and then of course the gold run that we're experiencing right now. So, Scott, in summary, why should investors consider an investment in Horizon Gold at the moment?
Yeah, I think now's a great time to have a good look at this company. That we are really bringing the story to the market. It has been really, I suppose, incubating over the last 3 to 5 years. The story has been building, and it's just now that we're really bringing it and telling it and showing all the great work that the team's already done with adding those million ounces. We're now at 2.3 million ounces. We have a bankable feasibility study about to drop. So it's a great time to have a look at this, particularly if you like a lower risk, more advanced gold story. So this is very advanced as far as development timelines. It has that ability to be going into production quite quickly because we have those granted mining leases, and we are at that bankable feasibility study phase. So yeah, it's much more advanced than a lot of our peers, but trading at multiples that are suggesting it's probably not as advanced. So we're seeing our multiples is similar to a very early stage explorer, for example, but we're actually much more advanced than our peers. So our peers that are a similar stage are trading at much higher multiples, around $200 to $300 or even $400 an ounce. We're trading at $100 an ounce. So a great opportunity to get on at that late stage of development. It is de-risked technically, and then and re-rate on those multiples.
Yeah, no, that does make a lot of sense. And it seems like you're very, very close to producing as well, which is really exciting. Now, I've got a few questions from the registrant, Scott. First of all, what is the debt position for the company at the moment?
So at the moment, we have zero debt. The debt process is something I will be tackling over the next 6 to 12 months. So we will take on some debt as we go into the build phase. So typically, we'll run a project finance process, and we're seeing really strong terms from the banks, and we're really excited about that process. But at the moment, no debt. But we will look to take on debt when we go into the build phase over the coming 6 to 12 months.
Excellent. That makes a lot of sense. And then it seems like we've already got an investor that's interested. He just asked Scott, and you might not have the answer to this one. How does one buy your shares as my platform says reduce only? Does that ring a bell at all?
Well, I'm not sure who would be suggesting reduce, but so the ASX platform, you should be able to go to the ticker HRN. Make sure it's not the other horizon. There's two horizons. The other one is HRZ. So make sure you put HRN into your screen. You should be able to buy it on all platforms going forward. We are in trading halt today. We're doing a capital raising. But from tomorrow morning, you should be able to buy under the ASX ticker code HRN, and shouldn't be any issues there.
Terrific. Well, if anyone else has any other questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A sector. Otherwise, Scott, thank you very much for the presentation. A lot of really good information, a lot of great food for thought. Sounds like you guys are quite undervalued at the moment from what you're telling us. And we're really looking forward to seeing Horizon Gold through the rest of 2026. Excellent. Well, Scott, thank you very much for your time. We wish you the absolute best here at Sharewise. And of course, everyone that's watching, you can find this back on our YouTube channel. That should be uploaded very, very quickly. Scott, if you don't have anything else to say, best of luck this year and thanks for your time, everyone. You guys all take care.
Thanks, James.